Mm. Hey, what's up, people? Welcome. I'm Stephen Lear. I write books, mostly fiction. I'm a blogger, and I have a Patreon page where me and my patrons are creating a 30-book series. I'll provide a link down there below so you can go and check that out. And as of today, I'm a content creator. This is the first video I've ever uploaded to YouTube, and I'm still figuring things out. Be sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell gizmo so that you're the first to know when I upload a new video. This video is going to start on a personal note, but bear with me until the end. It does eventually get around to what I want to say. First, I want to start out talking about what happened to my sister Brenda for a minute. Now, many of you that have been with me on this journey over in Zuckerlandia are up to speed, but those that are just getting on board may not be familiar with the story, so let's do a recap. Okay, so just so you know, my sister Brenda suffered from disorganized schizophrenia. It's the worst kind of schizophrenia you can have. At least that's what the doctors have told our family. Now, as a result of her illness, Brenda was homeless for a lot of time, over 20 years. It's where the voices in her head told her that she was safe. And you might be asking, why didn't you get her help, or why didn't she get help? The shorter answer is that we tried. But in Texas, she wasn't deemed a threat to herself, so she couldn't be committed to keep her safe. Believe me, we tried. And she was smart. She was wily. Just smart enough that she knew what to say so that the doctors couldn't legally keep her locked up. And we provided apartments. It was fully paid for out of our pocket. And she would walk away to go back to the streets because that's where the voices told her that she was safe. So, fast forward a few years, Brenda was getting worse. Besides smokes and coffee, she refused any help at all, except an occasional meal when she was really hungry. She couldn't come up with it herself. She was always glad to see family, though. The last time I saw her, me and another sister found her in a strip parking mall in Dallas. She was dragging her suitcase around and had just stopped to take a break from whatever she was doing. She hadn't spotted us in the car yet, thank God. And as we drove toward her, I remember how slowly she moved and how defeated she looked, how lost she was, how much hope she had lost. I wanted to cry. I did. It touched me. It really moved me. Have you ever seen a homeless, dirty, starving kitten's reaction when it wants to go home with you? Now, my sister was parking the car and probably didn't see Brenda like I did. I don't know. As soon as we opened the door and got out of the car, Brenda saw us, and it was like a ray of sunshine lit her up. She beamed at us, glad that we were there, I'm sure. We took Brenda to get a chicken sandwich and some fries at the Chick-fil-A that was right down the street, and I bought her a pack of smokes. Now, fast forward a few months, my little sister, I had 3, now I have 2, called me and said she had something to tell the family, but it had to be in person. Bells started going off, but waited till the next day, and we drove over there. That was when I found out that my sister Brenda had been hit, run over, and dragged 67 feet and left to die like a fucking animal. The bottom fell out for me. I cried like a wounded wild animal. I'm pretty sturdy. I'm a big boy, but my legs collapsed. I'm not kidding. I couldn't stand for a minute. Still, in the middle of all of this going on, we had to make Brenda's funeral arrangements and deal with the police because, life doesn't stop for the living. That brings us to the next part of the story. The police. They assigned a new detective to the case. He sounded really enthusiastic. He did. And I had high hopes he could find the person responsible for running over my sister. Nope, didn't happen. Months went by with no word, no progress. The case just sat on the desk. So we hired a PI, a private investigator, and success at last. That success cost a lot of money, though. But with his skills and what he turned over to the cops, there was an arrest. His name is Gil. Great man.
An arrest has been made in a deadly hit and run, which Fox 4 Sean Rabb featured on Trackdown. Cases where suspects or crimes are caught on tape, but the person responsible is still at large. Brenda McLemore was killed by a hit and run driver in July. Sean told her story in October. Dallas homicide detectives recently identified and arrested a suspect. Sean's in tonight with the update.
Hi, Clarice. The case did not start with homicide detectives, but that's where it ended, specifically Detective Jeff Loeb. The person arrested and charged in the death of Brenda McLemore, Jessica Roxana Perez.
So we had a name to go with the monster that we envisioned. I mean, isn't that what you would call someone that would do such a fucked up thing? I would. I did. I still do. My sisters just call her bitch. So with the monster in custody and a trial approaching, our family got our next disappointment. The monster would only be charged with failure to stop and render aid, resulting in death. I know. What the fuck, right? Well, the DA told us it's not what they're guilty of, it's what you can prove. That's what the DA told us.
Well, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court. Didn't you tell me that once?
Want to know a secret? When the DA tells you that, it's code. It means we might lose, and I don't want that loss on my record because I have to be elected. That's all. That's what it means. So, we go to trial and the monster gets 7 years, right? At first, the judge didn't want to give her any time. She wanted to hand out probation. The judge said that in the court. It blew my mind. The judge's first inclination was to give probation to the monster who had callously run her car over my sister, dragged Brenda 67 feet, and left her to die in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven. But the monster is in prison, so however shallow the victory of her sentence was, it was still a victory. She won't be eligible to get out until August of 2022. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. How is it you can just kill someone and only serve a couple of years? I think we're on the same page on this. And that brings us to today. We find out a couple of days ago that this heartless monster is now eligible for parole next month, February 22nd, 2020. We're all stunned, shocked, and here comes the anger. So after a little digging, we found out that during the appeal, the judge, the same one that wanted to give the monster probation in the original trial, dropped the deadly weapons charge section of the case. The car was the deadly weapon, and that's defined in the Texas Penal Code section 1.07. But this isn't the judge's fault. The DA didn't include the deadly weapons section 1.07 in the original charge.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Crazy, right? Give me just a moment so I can recover my composure.
Your Honor, I would caution you not to do that.
So all of that was said to get us to this point of speculation, sort of like art imitating life. If all of that happened to a serial killer, if their sister was needlessly and callously killed and the person that killed their sister basically went free, what would they do? How would they handle it? What wouldn't they do? Right? I aim to answer that in a book I'm working on. Don't get all excited yet. It's a year or two away from being released, but it's coming. I even have a title for it. Well, that's it. That's all for the day. I hope you enjoyed your time here. If you did, be sure to share this with your friends. There's a button down there. It helps you do that. If you like what you heard, give me a thumbs up. If not, well, that other button works too. Until next time, have fun in the slaughterhouse. Come find me on Facebook. See you later, citizens.